All right, everybody, we are just finishing up getting the drivers situated for the qualifying session, making sure that everybody is in the correct order. We will be getting qualifying started here very shortly. Stay tuned for Eternal Racing Championships NASCAR qualifying from Daytona. All right, here we are for the beginning of our qualifying session. My name is Matthew Chase. I will be the voice here for ERC NASCAR. Here in the booth with me right now, one of our drivers, and it is the number 12 of Bryce Fontaine. Bryce, we are going to get everybody going, starting it off here with CD Mangrum with the qualifying session. And just wanted to say hello to everybody and good luck to everybody in the qualifying session. As CD will get his first lap underway, he will run around the outside to try to build that momentum up. Each of these drivers will get 1 lap for their qualifying session. And CD will run the high side in the number 1 car. Got that Coca-Cola on the pretty much the entirety of his Toyota Camry as he rips around the outside through turns 3 and 4 on his outlap. Down into the tri-oval, he will start his qualifying lap right there as he crosses the start-finish line. Keeping it nice and tight to the double yellow line through turns 1 and 2. Keeping those left sides right on the paint. And down through the tri-oval, CD setting the bar here. And that is his lap as we jump over to Natasha in the number 16 on her first lap here. Mangrum ran a 50.30. Natasha not keeping it as tight to the double yellow line through the corners. And for her lap, she crosses the line with a 50.28. Troy Burke next on track. He starts his qualifying lap here in the number 47. We should expect to see these drivers all wrapping the bottom with only 1 qualifying lap. He does catch the apron there. Might have scrubbed a little bit of speed with that. Does a good job of keeping it tight to the double yellow line through turns 3 and 4. And down into the tri-oval. Troy Burke's lap completed is a 50.35. Right behind him now, Adam Williams will be starting his qualifying lap. Kind of staying a little bit off the double yellow line, trying to give it that arc down into the corner. Trying not to bog it down through entrance and exit of corner. Tight to the double yellow line once again through turns 3 and 4. We cut down underneath the double yellow line there. 50.25 for Adam Williams. Coming around now, Dylan Banks. In the number 48. He's not wrapped right on the paint, but he does give it a little bit of a gap off of corner. Again, try not to bog down the car on exit. Very nice looking paint scheme for Dylan Banks. Again, try not to keep it bogged down. He does get back down to the painted double yellow line. And his lap, a 50.25 as well. Raymond Bell coming around to begin the hot lap in the number 26. Really like the chrome look on this car. Reminds me of the classic Mustang with that shininess with the double stripes down the middle. Down through turns 3 and 4. Came up off of the double lines a little bit. I don't know if that's going to cost him on his lap. Crossing the line now. Raymond Bell with a 50.29. Up next is Bryce Fontaine. He, in the number 12, is ripping around now. Staying very tight to the double yellow line there. And off of turn 4. Fontaine looking to contest the pole here. And his lap puts him on the pole for now, a 50.23. Corey Rayner coming around to start his first lap in the double zero. Has Sunoco on the hood of that Camry. Doing a great job of staying tight to the inside. Gets that arc. He's not all the way down on the painted double yellow line. Lap for Corey Rayner, a 50.26. Ryan McClurg starting his hot lap now in the number 43. Running the Chevy Camaro here. Good looking car as well. Down into turn 3. Off of turn 4, here he comes down through the tri-oval once again, and this lap for McClurg is 50.26, fourth on the running order so far. William Kern coming around to start his hot lap. Driver, the number 31 Toyota Camry. And he's also choosing to come up off of the painted double yellow line as well down the backstretch and arc it down in. That's a strategy that I usually use when I'm driving on these super speedways for qualifying. And down into the tri-oval, William Kern's lap is a 50.27, sixth place so far for the 31. Next up on the qualifying order is Jose Mercado in the number 41 GTR Ford Mustang. Got Valvoline on it as well. Also electing to stay off of the double yellow line. Stays tight through the corners. Comes up off of it. And across the line here, Mercado's lap. A 50.28, seventh place so far. Christopher Romano up next. Starting his lap in the number 51. Staying tight through turns 1 and 2. He also comes up off the double yellow line on exit of turn 2. So a reoccurring strategy here for these drivers. Romano's lap looks good so far. Into the tri-oval he goes. The number 51 of Romano's lap will put him in the 11th position with a 50.30. Next up, the number 83 of Chris Walsh. Running the Dr. Pepper Toyota. Really like the look of that paint as well. Now, Chris staying down to the double yellow line down the straightaway this time. Seems like those guys who were keeping it tight were actually able to get higher up the running order so far. Does come off it a little bit off of turn 4, but gets right back to the paint down through the tri-oval. And Walsh's time is a 50.27, and that'll put the 83 starting in the 7th position as of now. Chad Stewart comes around across the line for his hot lap in the number 70 Chevrolet. Once again, keeping it tied right to the painted double yellow line. down the backstretch. Down into the tri-oval, and the number 70's time. Last place so far, the 14th position with a 50.37. Next on track, Ray Hanneman as he goes and crosses the line in the number 85 Ford Mustang. Eternal Racing on the car here for the 85 of Hanneman. And he keeps it tied to the bottom. Got a little bit of a gap between himself and the yellow line. See what he can do off of 4. Keeps it pretty tight. A little bit of a gap there. And Hanneman up to 3rd with a 50.25. Nolan McClurg in the number 6 Dr. Pepper Chevrolet. We saw Ryan McClurg out there earlier. Off of 4. Into the tri-oval we go, and Nolan McClurg up to 3rd with a 50.25. Still coming around now, Brandon Biddy in the number 2 Ford Mustang. Getting ready to start the hot lap here for the number 2. Stayed high through the tri-oval, and now we'll tuck down to the bottom through 1 and 2. And tracking out to the outside, trying to mitigate the draft as much as he can with the wall. Mitigate as much air as you can off that rear spoiler. Gets back to the bottom for 3 and 4 for the number 2. Stays towards the middle, off of turn 4, and down into the tri-oval. Biddy's time is a 50.34, 15th so far. If I butcher this, I apologize. Jacob Nibel is what I'm going to go with. If I'm wrong, I apologize. In the number 8 car. Very reminiscent of a paint scheme used by RCR in the Cup Series and Kyle Busch with the number 8. Same kind of looking car. Tucked down tight to the inside through turns 3 and 4. Time for Jacob is going to be a 50.31, P15 so far on the order. Mason Tomlinson coming on the track now in the number 4 Eternal Racing Toyota Camry. A little bit of a gap there between himself and the double yellow line. After Mason, 9 more drivers to put down a lap. And there's a handful of drivers that couldn't make it tonight as well. So they will be competing in duel number 2 next week. Mason's time here, though, puts him up to 7th with a 50.26. Up next is Gregory Vadnais. Shows number 65, but he is the number 24 car. Gregory coming around to start his hot lap. Wasn't able to get down all the way to the painted line there through turns 1 and 2. Stays off of the line as well down the backstretch. Gets tight down there. Loses the space there through turns 3 and 4, though. And down to the line for Gregory. Uh, 50.43 sits 20th right now for the number 24 car. Up next is Justin Lanier in the number 25. Also not staying down to the bottom, going through the middle. Oh, drops down there late. Not getting all the way down there through 3 and 4 either. Goes for a late drop to the bottom. Lap for the number 25, a 50.43. Another one I'm not sure if I'm going to butcher or not. Ty Higgin, I'm going to go with Higginbottom if I'm wrong. Higginbottom if I'm wrong. If it's Higginbotham, I'm sorry. But Ty now running his lap in the number 45 Toyota Camry. I will learn everybody's name that I didn't get right before we get to next week. I'm going to go with Botham, actually. Higginbotham. I could be wrong. Ty runs the bottom here in 3 and 4. Gets it tight to the yellow line. Crossing the line. Up to P2 there for the number 45. Nicholas Anderson in the number 55, next on track. Running the Chevy Camaro here. Little gap between himself and the double yellow line. Does get it a little bit tighter through the corners. And down to the trioval for the number 55 of Nicholas Anderson. His time will put him in the 18th position, a 50.33. Joseph Hebert in the number 88. Again, if I got it wrong, I apologize. Number 88 car, the Chevy Camaro, out there for his hot lap. These are the last 5 drivers here for the qualifying session, getting out to the outside wall. Trying to take as much air off that spoiler as he can. Tight down to the inside. Comes off the line there to keep it from bogging down. And now down into the trioval. Joseph's time. 22nd position for the number 88. That is a 50.93. Ross Campoli in the number 46 Chevy Camaro. Out on track for his hot lap now. Gets tight to the inside there through turns 3 and 4. Down into the trioval. Ross's time puts him up to P2 for the number 46. Up next, the number 82 of Kevin Fry. In the number 82 Toyota Camry. He's going to be racing looking to try to do very well this season, as all of the drivers are. Seems like most of the drivers between that 50.25 and 2.6 bracket. 2.7, kind of close there too. And Fry's time will put him 15th. Which is a 50.28. Jack Andrews next. Running the number 97 Toyota Camry. It's a good-looking car as well. Keeps it nice and tight. Well, not quite as tight as I thought he was going to, but Jack will come around to complete the hot lap. And the 97 up to P9. And our last driver to qualify coming off of turn 4 right now is Josh Hawk. Good looking car there in the number 69. Nice. Bryce is secure as one of the top two. So he will be starting on the front row no matter what. For the number 12 of Fontaine, we'll see if he's on the pole or if he's on the outside pole. But Josh coming around to finish his lap and the qualifying session. And it is going to be 28th for the number 69. And that is all of the drivers who could make the qualifying session. Leaving us with Bryce Fontaine as the pole sitter for the big race in 2 weeks' time. With Ross Campoli outside row number 1. Ty Higginbotham will be starting in the 3rd position and starting outside of the pole for duel number 1. Adam Williams in the 54 was in 4th, and Nolan McClurg rounding out the top 5. And yeah, so we will... Oh, I thought Bryce was there for a second. We will send it to a short break, and I believe we're going to have our duel number 1.
That is correct. I'm going to get all these lap times put in, get the lobby set up, and then we're good to go. I'll let you know.
Okay. All right. We're going to go to a break, and we'll be back with duel number 1 here for the Eternal Racing Championship NASCAR. We will be back in just a few minutes. All right, here we are once again at Daytona. We've got our duel number 1 set to go. And I'm going to have 14 drivers trying to work their way towards the front and put themselves in position to hopefully get to the 3rd position, try and put themselves in a position to get towards the front of the field for the big race in a couple of weeks. So, see the drivers just working on their pit road entry. Getting last minute practices in that they need. Taking a quick look at the race info here. ERC NASCAR Duel number 1 here from Daytona. 86 degrees outside with the track temp up at 111 degrees. And this 35-lap race. Pole sitter is on the pole for the big race in 2 weeks' time, like I said. So Bryce Fontaine, all good to go. He doesn't need to win this race in order to put himself on the pole. Basically, the drivers are racing for 3rd position on the starting grid for the race in 2 weeks. And there are stage points up for grabs here at the end of this race. First place will get 10 points. There are no playoff points with this, but first place will get 10 points, second place 9, so on and so forth through the top 10. And we were looking at the ticker before to kind of see what everybody's lap times were. Again, this is with the practice session. We remember what the times were: 50.2523, somewhere in that range for qualifying. Almost, 4 seconds faster in the draft. These guys will be going close to 200 miles per hour down the straightaway. Lots of speed here at the World Center of Racing at Daytona International Speedway. A lot of these guys just getting out there doing a pit party, trying to get a good idea of what the car is going to do in the draft. Looks like drivers from 4 of the teams racing this evening. Eternal Racing has 3 drivers in Bryce Fontaine, Kevin Fry, and William Kern. Slower Than Dial Up has Ryan McClurg. Biddy Family Racing has Brandon Biddy and Ray Hanneman. And GTR Motorsports has CD Mangrum, Jose Mercado, Mason Tomlinson, and Ty Higginbotham. And Higginbotham starting on the outside of the front row for this race. So, all that being said, let's run through the starting grid for this first duel. Bryce Fontaine leads him to the green flag here in the first duel, with Ty Higginbotham in second. Ray Hanneman in third. Ryan McClurg, and the number 43 starts in fourth. Row 3 has a number 4 of Mason Tomlinson with William Kern in the number 3, starting in sixth. Kevin Fry in the 82 and Jose Mercado round out row 4. Row number 5 has C.D. Mangrum and Jacob Niebel. 11th has Brandon Biddy in the number 2, and in 12th is Chad Stewart in the number 70. And then last row here, Justin Lanier and Josh Hawk. We'll talk with our pole sitter here at some point for the big race. If we get a caution, we'll talk with him. Got a feeling his mindset, though, is just try to do as well as he can and try to set himself up for success with those points on the line as well. Definitely going to be looking to try to win this if he can get 10 bonus points potentially. With qualifying all done, wrapped up, this is the unofficial start here for ERC NASCAR. Into the restart zone they go, and the green flag flies. We are racing from Daytona International Speedway. And Higginbotham going to get down to the bottom, in behind Hanneman. Already 3 wide there in the back of the field. Trying to get the outside started up. There's 4 guys on the outside. And leading lap number 1 is the pole sitter for the big race, Bryce Fontaine. Ray Hanneman right tucked to the back bumper of the number 12. Ty Higginbotham sits in third with Mason Tomlinson in fourth. And Jose Mercado running out the top 5. See the outside lane definitely has very little energy to get started, but now we're starting to see some of those guys. Higginbotham, Mason, and Mercado going to try to make a run around the outside. That trio, nose to tail, all teammates as well for GTR Motorsports. Inside trying to get tucked back up in with each other. Brandon Biddy now falls into third in line on the inside. Oh, there's a big checkup on the outside. They have to bail out of that for a second. And that lost a ton of momentum as Higginbotham falling all the way back down into the 8th position right now. And the inside lane has got a lot of run down that super straight. William Kern going to jump out to the outside, as does the number 25 of Justin Lanier. They're going to be sitting in the 4th row on the inside. And looked like the 8 was diving down a little bit there, but they are going to move their way towards the front. The outside trying to generate that energy. Great teamwork there at the front of the field. You saw Bryce jump out to the outside and allow the 85 to get some air on that nose and cool that motor off. These guys know how to work together quite well. They've worked together in other leagues. And 5 laps in so far, Bryce Fontaine has led them all. The 25 looked like he almost got into the outside wall, trying to let everybody by. He'll fall to the tail end of the inside lane now. Pretty much single file the whole way. Few guys jumping out to the outside now. CD Mangrum leading the group. Trying to lead the charge to the outside. They're going to go 3 wide through turns 1 and 2. As Chad Stewart tried to jump out in front, not going to find anything there. He'll be in the sucker hole going to the back of the field. Team GTR are running around the outside. CD Mangrum and Jose sucked up on each other. They got Higginbotham right there with him too. Trying to side draft the number 2 was CD Mangrum. And through the tri-oval, still leading the way is Fontaine. The GTR guys did a great job of pulling the 8 away from the back bumper of Biddy as Nebel had to get back to him. The side draft really working out as they pull Biddy away from the back of the 85 just a little bit down the back stretch. And CD really trying to side draft very hard on to the number 2. Looked like Biddy trying to maybe counteract that just a little bit by running a little bit higher and forcing them off of the inside lane just a little bit. And the outside lost a lot of energy that time around as they fall back to even with the 5th lane. Excuse me, the 6th lane on the inside through turns 1 and 2. They have all the momentum down the back stretch, though. See there, side by side with Nebel again. Mangrum looking to get to the back quarter panel of the number 2. Side drafting off of Biddy as well. Trying to get as much of that energy taken away from the inside lane as they possibly can. Mangrum will be side by side with Biddy through the tri-oval. Good tight racing here. Great pack racing, even with only 14 cars on the track right there. And once again, you see Bryce allowing that air to get to the front of the 85, trying to cool off that car as much as they can, whenever they can. A little bit of weeble wobbling going on there. Ooh, Lanier almost getting into Mangrum off of turn 2. That's going to lose a lot of energy to the outside once again. They're going to have to build it back up as they fall all the way back to the back of this inside lane. And they do fall in line. Single file now, the whole field. Let's ride on board here with Hanneman. You see how important it is for him to get to the back bumper as soon as he can. Nice bump draft there through the tri-oval. Trying to stay square as he can to the bumper of Fontaine. Lets off into the corner to allow the car to breathe and cool that water temp and oil temp. And then down the straightaway, same thing, trying to get lined up with the back bumper of the number 12 car down the straightaway. Trying to get as many bumps down the back straightaway as he can. And you see here, staying tucked right up to the back bumper through turns 3 and 4. Falls back a little bit mid-corner. And then it does it all again for another lap around this 2.5 mile draft style track. One driver out of line. Will get back in line. Looked like he might not have had a chance to, but Justin Lanier going to find his way back in line. Right behind the number 82 of Kevin Fry and right in front of the number 69 of Josh Hawk. GTR looking to get going around the outside again. And that's a hard shot to the outside wall for Lanier. And now we got some spinning going on in the back of the pack. Multiple drivers taken up in that. Yellow flag flies. We actually kind of caught what was going on there anyway. Let's take a look back at it. We're going to rewind even just a little bit farther back than this. It all starts with Lanier here. Go into the far chase cam so we can take a look at what exactly happened here. A big run coming from the outside. He jumps out to get in line with him. Wants to push to the front. Mangrum getting pushed. .25 gets squirrely off the initial hit into the corner, hits the wall. And then from there, Mangrum gets loose. Tries to collect the car. Does so, but continued to stay a little bit loose as well, trying to still collect it. And then after that, Mercado to his inside just hooks him. Slight damage to the right door of the number 70, but all 4 drivers from GTR involved. Higginbotham with a pretty good shot as well, but Mercado's car takes flight just a touch. And Mercado probably going to have big-time damage. Mangrum catches Lanier on the way by as well. And he hits the back of the car on the wall. And Mangrum, another shot here into teammate Higginbotham. Rough all around for everybody involved. They're all down pit road, though, here. And off of pit road, Fontaine will get away first with Hanneman. And Niebel and Biddy. Tomlinson and Kern come out right side by side, but it looks like Mason will get the better of William Kern that time off of pit road. He'll start in the top 5 here. So we will grab our pole sitter for the big race here. Bryce Fontaine up here in the booth with Matthew Chase. How you feeling through the first few laps of the race?
Yeah, feels pretty good. Back to what I know and love, the super speedways. Looks like everybody's kind of just riding right now. There's not a whole lot on the line at this point, so I think people are just trying to survive. And yeah, it's going to be interesting here with the fuel number. With that last caution, but yeah, just back to the normal, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we know how much you enjoy super speedways. We've talked extensively in other leagues about how much you like the super speedway racing, and with yourself sitting on the pole for the big race, how important is it just to finish well here? I mean, are you just looking for those bonus points at this point?
Yeah, I'm just point hunting. If I can help my teammates, obviously, I'll do what I can. But I know how close the points have been in other leagues, so I'll take any advantage that I can get. But it's not worth wrecking over to get them. That's for sure.
All right. Well, we'll let you get back. It looks like you're going down pit road to top off here, so we'll let you get back with your team. Good luck the rest of the way, Bryce.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And with that, that will leave Jacob Niebel to the race lead. Smartest thing you can do in this situation is top off. Especially if the fuel number is close. It looks like Biddy not going to the outside. I think he's supposed to be sitting there in second. Yeah, it does realize that now. So 19 laps to go here as we get double filed up and ready to go. Pace car going to dive off down pit road. Into the restart zone. Green flag flies. Jacob Niebel going to get a pretty good start. Tomlinson right on that back bumper. The outside did not get a good start at all. And really nobody getting lined up very well. There goes Fontaine and Hanneman with William Kern going to jump to the outside a little bit farther back. Chad Stewart, though, looking to the outside. Nobody there, though. The first four cars aren't even really lined up tight to each other. A little bit of a blink there from the number 8 car. And it looks like Lanier got shipped out of line. Mercado, dealing with a damaged race car, I think, is out of the draft at this point. I don't know if Justin can keep it as well. And if the fuel is close, the best thing that somebody like Bryce Fontaine can do, or Hanneman, these guys that topped off this group that came down the second time around, is just kind of ride in the draft and save as much fuel as you possibly can. 17 laps until pay dirt. Biggest thing is make sure you're still in that draft so you don't lose the top 4. He's definitely not losing them so far. Leading it, though, still is Jacob Nebel. Got to imagine if the fuel number is close, which we think it should be between about 18 to 22 laps, somewhere in that range. Then riding in the draft of somebody else is the smartest thing you can do. The one who's going to deal with it right now, though, is the number 8 car leading the entire field. Single file throughout the field here as well. Nobody wants to step out yet. Everyone very content to just ride around for a handful more laps until it's time for go time with a couple of laps to go. One car out of line, it looks like that is the 69 of Josh Hawk, but he gets back in line, realizing no help going to be out there to the outside. Probably best to just ride around. And the field slowly approaching Jose Mercado again to put him in a lap down. $13 more times around here. Mason Tomlinson in second, Chad Stewart third, Ryan McClurg fourth, and Fontaine rounding out the top 5 right now. They're all following Jacob Nebel around the track. Not a single soul looking to step out of line other than the 25 right now, but it looks like he was just trying to get to the back of the field. And I would say we are probably about 6 or 7 laps before it's go time for anybody looking to point hunt. The other question being, is there enough fuel in the tank for all of these guys to make it? Yeah, that one's broken, so we'll have to figure that out. I'm not sure what's going on there, but... Last lap times. Yeah, these guys are definitely in savings mode. 48-second laps. Everybody's definitely saving. Never mind, I thought go time would be in a handful more laps, but now it is not. Looks like Fontaine and Hanneman ready to go. And Fontaine back out front as he comes around. Whoa, gets shipped up a little bit there. Maybe a nudge gone wrong, but no, he's going to duck down in behind Hanneman now. Ten to go. These guys are very good at super speedway racing here. The 3-car push. I've seen these guys do that multiple times. Hanneman, Fountaine, and Kern. Fountaine backing off just to make sure he gets enough cool air on the nose not to blow the car up. And there's the push from Kern to get him back to the back bumper. Back here a little ways. Brandon Biddy leading the way around the outside. Biddy and Chad Stewart have Mason Tomlinson with them, but now the inside lane is king again. And Stewart going to be left out to dry there. He'll be falling back to the back of the pack. Watch for the run to come from around the 5th position and 6th position. Ryan McClurg, Ty Higginbotham. Maybe just Jacob Niebel as well. That 4th to 6th area is where I think the first run will come from as we get closer to the end of the race. 8 to go. Looks like Fry going to try to make some work around the outside, but he's by himself. Got one driver with him. That's Mason Tomlinson. 2 isn't going to be enough to be able to dominate this inside lane, who is every other driver on track. Now 3 cars in that lane with the 25 joining them. Still not going to be able to take over anybody on the inside lane. Hanneman still leading it. And number 85 is 6 to go as they cross the line. Yeah, we can definitely tell the difference in lap times now. Pushing the pace, the lead group here. Down into the 46s, 2 seconds quicker than they were just a handful of laps ago. And we are back to single file here with 6 laps remaining. Go time should be in the next couple of laps as well. Who will be the first to make the move? Like I said, 4th to 6th seems like the more aggressive place to start those runs from. We get a couple drivers starting to make their move from the back of the field right now with 5 to go. It's the same trio that was on the outside before with Fry, Tomlinson, and Lanier. And Mangrum going to move up to the outside with them. And they got Jose Mercado right in front of the field as well, coming up to pass the 41 again. Fry going to be side by side with McClurg. Falling back just a little bit. Mercado gets out of the way for the field. Definite teamwork going on here. This time around, 3 laps to go. And Fontaine leads the way now. He dives to the inside. Hanneman with an aggressive push. Contact there in the mid-pack as McClurg and Tomlinson got kind of tangled up there. McClurg going to jump out in front of Tomlinson now. This time around, 2 more trips around the 2.5-mile superspeedway. Fontaine leads them to the stripe. Fry going to move to the outside there. He'll be side by side with Mangrum. Side drafting going on there in the back. Contact between the 82 and 25, and around goes the 25 and the 82. Big time wreck, and the yellow flag flies just before these guys get to the line. Go back and look at it. We saw the contact happening. I'm not sure if it was forced, if he got forced up there. We're going to find out, though. Let's see what happened. No, he didn't get forced up there. He just kind of drifted up a little bit. Side by side with the 82. And they were right beside each other. And then right after that, around went the 25. And a little bit of net code into the 82 as well. But those guys were like really linked up for a moment there. Damage for Tomlinson, the 43 of Ryan McClurg. On a hard shot there. Not Stewart. That must have been Brandon Biddy. No, it wasn't Brandon Biddy. Who was that? The 69 of Josh Hawk. He had a hard shot to the outside wall. McClurg gets into Tomlinson again before this whole thing is over with. And the checkered flag flies, so there's no overtime for that as well. So no overtime here. And the checkered flag is in the air. So no overtimes here in the duel. An unfortunate way for it to end, but that is the way it will be finished up.
So settings have bugged, and that is official. That is the race.
I was gonna say it looked like I saw the checkered flag had flown, so that will be that'll be it. So we'll get our top 3 into the broadcast waiting room here in just a minute, and we will have an interview with them. An unfortunate finish. Obviously, we never want to finish under caution if we can help it, but the timing, obviously, of that caution was not the best either. And Fontaine going to get the race win here.
That means you are 1, 3, 5.
We got dragged.
We are still live.
I was talking.
I think Kern is off for the night, so.
All right, well, we can talk with you guys anyway. We'll talk with our top 2. Hanneman getting second. How you feeling starting third in the big race in a couple of weeks?
Feeling pretty good. I mean, this was mostly just to have a good pit stop, because pit stops and making sure that the green flag stops when we have them, and for stages and stuff like that, you can gain a lot of spots off pit road, especially with the different strategies everyone's gonna be having. So it's definitely a needed spot, and I'm happy near the front of the pit road.
Yeah, that'll definitely help, and not only that, working with a driver like Bryce, who you've have much experience driving with. You guys were pretty much linked up the entire race. I don't think you guys were really apart from each other at all. So having that as well, having a driver to race around these super speedways with is obviously a good thing to have. How important is it to have the number 12 right in front of you starting at the race for the big one?
Honestly, it's anybody that you've worked with in the past that you kind of know that can work well with you. So like, I know if it came to green flag pit stops, I know Bryce, Kern, Tomlinson, like I know all of us, we know how to pit together because we've all raced together before. Fry as well. I know the 45, CD Mangrum, Jose, like we all been racing together now for the better part of 9 months. So getting some of the new faces. I'd like to work with, some of the other drivers like McClurgs, Niebel, just to name a few. I know a couple people in the second duel coming next week and stuff like that too. So just to get it's good to have variety of who you can race hard against on the track, and then also, you can push and whatnot, and just makes a good broadcast, and it's fun racing doing it. So.
Yeah, and how important to you is those bonus points that you could walk away with as well? You get 9, basically second place stage points for the race. How important is that to you as well?
I mean, consistency is key. I mean, we saw it in the last league there that we were all a part of, and I may have not won a lot of races, but consistency definitely does help. So to start off the year strong with 9 bonus points, I mean that's definitely a huge win in my books, because I'm probably gonna get a lot of those this season. So that's I'm excited to play it out though. I know every single race is gonna be different with different set of skill set drivers, and the pros and not the pros and cons, but like just to see everyone's talents shine and whatnot. So it's gonna be fun to see who's good where, and where I'd actually finish out in all the stages and all the races this year. So I'm excited that so far it's looking like a good season. So.
All right, Ray. Anybody you'd like to shout out before we let you go?
I gotta thank the team, girlfriend, everybody for coming out and watching, all the competitors out there. I gotta thank Eternal Racing, Triple Stint, iStats, the normal sponsors. I'll have a new paint scheme for the 500. All my sponsors for the IRL car. I gotta thank Silvertune Performance, ETN. I gotta thank POW for helping me with the various wide body kit. I gotta thank Avid, Bel Air Toyota for helping out all the with all the IRL stuff. So I appreciate everybody who's put hands on the Evo and who's helped me, still do what I love on the iRacing sim. And I gotta thank you tonight for coming out and broadcasting.
All right, well, Ray, we will see you in 2 weeks' time at Daytona for the big race, 100 laps here at the big home of racing, Daytona International Speedway. We'll see you then.
Awesome, thanks.
And the race winner, he's already off the track, but Bryce Fontaine started on the pole here, going to finish in first, start on the pole for the big race. We talked about point hunting, and you get the max points you can out of this. How you feeling after that?
Yeah, feels good to allude what Ray said. I mean, honestly, I think everybody in this duel kind of got lucky because we've all raced around each other for long enough. So I think there was a bit of familiarity that we were all leaning on, right? I mean, we saw the GTR guys up top trying to make a run. Me and Ray and everybody else were on the bottom, kind of just playing it out. So I think that familiarity kind of helped a lot of us. And of course, to the guys that were coming in, fresh to the league, are kind of getting a chance to see how this is really how this is set up and how we do it over here. So it was fun. I would have liked to have seen how that one was going to go down there at the end. It looks like it was stacking up. I could tell that the top line was definitely looking to try to make something happen there, but unfortunate that we had the contact out back, and unfortunate that ended the race. Again, apologies for that. But all in all, it was fun just getting our feet wet. And I got to say, I mean, tonight went honestly really, really, really well. It went a lot better than I thought it would with the amount of drivers that we had scheduled. So for everything to go as quickly and as smooth as it did, I mean, that's a win within itself for me. So
I say it for the behind the scenes thing. We had 28 drivers in qualifying, and having to get that all lined up through that practice session, and then come into this duel and have it all set up and have the grid and all that. It was a lot of work to do, but everybody, all the drivers especially, made it very, very easy on our race control here, Mr. Fontaine, getting everybody set up where they needed to be with the qualifying session. But yeah, it seemed to go pretty good overall, as you said. So, but with the race win now, you starting first anyway. How important is it to have a driver? I asked him. You were right here for it too. But how important is it to have a driver like Hanneman, somebody you have, and Will really too, because you've got Will right behind him. You got two drivers right behind you to start the race. How important is it going to be with those guys right behind you?
yeah, I mean, again, familiarity at these kind of plate tracks is really important, right? I mean, just with how you have to race this car and how you have to race this package, you've got to be, the side drafts have to be, I mean, you got to be touching basically, and of course pushing 3, 4, sometimes 5 cars deep at the end of the run. It takes a lot of faith, and it just takes a lot of trust. And having a guy like Ray behind me who I know can keep a steady line, and even if things do happen, if there's a checkup or the line gets broken up a little bit, having a guy like Ray that you can get lined up with pretty quickly definitely makes things a lot easier. And then of course, Will was taking the night to kind of get his feet back wet in this car. He's had a little bit of time away, so he was playing pretty timid. But all in all, it's good to have people that you trust. And the unfortunate thing is it probably does put a little bit of a target. But I'm here for the challenge, and we've got a lot of great drivers in here. I mean, I think we have 42 or 43 confirmed drivers. So a lot of things that can happen out there on track, and I'm just excited to be a part of it and see what happens.
Yeah, well, anybody you want to shout out before we let you go, Bryce?
Yeah, of course, got to give a shout out to the wife for all of her support, especially now in this time because it's getting down to crunch time. Shout out to all the guys over at Daytona Racing for all their support, iStats, Triple Stint, P1 Docs for hopping on board with us as well. So couldn't be more thankful for them. Of course, everything that we have going on over here at ERC too. This has been something that we've talked about doing for a long time, and it takes a team, to get things done. So shout out to that. Again, shout out to all the drivers for keeping tonight pretty painless, and shout out to Ray for sticking to my bumper for most of the night. I don't know how that last lap would have went down if we would have got to do it, but other than that, that's pretty much all we can ask for. And then of course, shout out to you for being a part of it and being up in the booth.
Absolutely. So 2 weeks time at Daytona. I know I'll be talking with you between now and then anyway. You'll be, I'm sure, helping me out with the race control for Duel number 2 next week. So yeah, overall, a good night of racing. We appreciate you all coming out. And Bryce, congratulations on the race win here.
Yep. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
And real quick, we'll go over the race results for this Duel number 1. As it pops up, Bryce Fontaine winning it. Ray Hanneman in second, William Kern third, Jacob Niebel in fourth, C.D. Mangrum rounding out the top 5. Ty Higginbotham in 6th, Brandon Biddy 7th, Kevin Fry 8th, Ryan McClurg in 9th, and then Chad Stewart rounding out the top 10. Justin Lanier in 11th, Mason Tomlinson 12th, Josh Hawk 13th, and Jose Mercado in 14th. Those will be the positions that they start in on the inside rows for the big race in 2 weeks' time for the 100-lap race that weekend. So that's going to do it here from everybody here at Eternal Racing Championship. We will catch you guys next week for Duel number 2 from Daytona International Speedway. A whole new host of drivers, and it's going to be a heck of an event there. 35 more laps and some more bonus points on the line. We'll catch you guys next Friday, same time, same place, for some more racing from Daytona International Speedway.
Goodbye.